Right, hello everyone. Okay, so what I decided to do today is to create a series of videos explaining the kind of process that I went through in getting Morrowind VR sorted out. I have already tested it and it does work, and I think all the mods I've put in also work. Now, don't worry.
Stand up. There you go.
Hey, Gia.
You were dreaming. What's your name?
The mods I put in place kept fairly loyal to the original game. As you can see, the textures, the body textures have improved, but the main gameplay mods that I've done are the Oblivionized Magica regen, because I want to create a kind of balanced build that tries everything out. First thing I need to do is to select my name, and as I have been watching a little bit of South Park, I want to name my character after the greatest adventurer there ever was, Lemmiwinks. So while he's talking, I'll just explain. So what I've done. So I've created a save where I'm going to be quite balanced. So I want to try all the weapons out, see how the combat works with melee weapons, ranged weapons, and with magic. I also want to try a bit of sneaking, but Morrowind sneaking wasn't the greatest of the best of times. So as well as that, the only other gameplay mod I've implemented is the one that speeds me up, and you can probably tell that's exactly what's happened. Now, one thing I like about the mods that they've created is that obviously you can see your hands in front of you, and that's new. And is the controls. There's one thing I like is the controls, because
this is where they want you.
Really work.
Head down to the dock and I'll show
VR.
you to the census office.
I do apologise if I'm facing away from you at this point. I'm trying not to use the left, the right analog stick.
Records don't show.
I find it more immersive to do it this way. So if I'm creating a balanced build, I think it has to be a dark elf. I will, however, make him look a bit better than the original thing I want him to be. Yeah, that'll do. I will never see what this character looks like.
I'm sure you'll fit right in.
Because obviously,
follow me
it's
up to the
all first
office
person.
and they'll finish your release.
So let's go. So other than that, I just wanted to make sure that I'm doing it correctly. So that means no console commands, unless of course the Silk Strider, the guys there, sometimes they vanish in open Morrowind, and that can be a bit of a pain in the ass. So I'm just
we've been
avoiding all console commands unless I need to reset those
before
guys.
you're officially released. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours.
So I am going to pick from a class list for this one, and I'm going to pick the Battlemage, just because, if you can see, there's destruction in there, there's axe, long blade in minor, and marksman in minor. That gives me quite a balanced character. Intelligence and strength, that works for me as well.
Very good. The letter that preceded you mentioned
quickly.
you were born under a certain sign. And what would that be?
For my sign, I always used to pick the lady, just because of the extra 50 points of stats.
Interesting.
So that's what I'm going to do.
Now, before I stamp these papers, make sure this information is correct.
Come on now, Lemmiwinks. So, Dark Elf Battlemage. Pretty balanced character. I like all of that that's going on. I'm going to conjure some stuff. Destruction seems to be my go-to here. So I might start with a few fire spells. Now, I really do like the user interface here. So instead of clogging up your screen, obviously, a heads-up display doesn't really work with VR,
to get your release fee.
because it would massively break the immersion. So the left hand, obviously, you've already seen that your resource pool is here, and your weapon Magica appear here. Obviously, I haven't got the ring yet, so obviously those of you who know the game know that you get the ring, and then that all appears here. So I'm going to do the classic. So if I open up the menu, which is in your left hand, the bottom, nope, beg your pardon, the right hand top button. One thing I love about what they've done is that all of your the other stuff isn't here. I'll get to that, but your menu is here, and you can see it all in one go. Now's not really the best time because the other menu bits haven't appeared yet, but obviously
Take me for a fool.
all of this stuff, I'm just gonna pop all this on the floor.
You take me for a fool.
Don't you love leaving without consequence?
You take me for a fool.
Well, I'm getting a bit fed up of his
Continue
constant
through to the next building and talk
repeating
to
the same
Celescribes.
phrase. So, yeah, if you want to interact with stuff with the controls here, one thing I really like is that you pinch. So what I'm going to call these buttons is triggers. You can see me. No, hold on. Now you can see me. The triggers in both hands are to attack with your right hand. With your left hand, it's to jump, but I can't jump yet. And there's a squeeze as well. So I'm going to call them squeeze and trigger. And if you squeeze with the right hand, instead of attacking, you interact with stuff. So obviously all the stuff I've nicked I can now pick up again. And you do get really used to this really nice and quickly, which is amazing. Now, of course, you know I'm going to steal every single thing in here, but I'll probably skip that. Okay, now the place has been successfully looted. I'm going to continue with the story and hopefully not bore you too much. So, obviously we take the ring, that way the magic appears here, and we have the little mini map. Yeah, I'm sure most of you agree I'm never going to use the mini map that much, but I do like that it is all available on your left hand if you need it. We'll talk to this guy. Yep, Morrowind duties, let's do this and let's go.
Go ahead,
now,
stranger.
Yes, okay. So, I just want to explain the buttons. So, in your right hand, you have the bottom of the two thumb buttons. And the bottom one of those two will equip and unequip whatever you've got in your item. So, your weapon usually, but I've got a lockpick for now. I've never actually looked at a lockpick up close. It's pretty cool. And in your left hand, the bottom button will ready your magic item or spell, whichever you've got. So, if I click on Summon Ancestral Ghost, the bottom button on your left hand will ready magic, and it's a bit difficult to tell if it is or not, it's just the little fingers, but when it's ready, when you press trigger, voila, okay, you've cast a spell. So then in my right hand I can equip my weapon again. Tell you what, let's actually equip it. Now, I wanted to talk about this before, so I'm sure those die-hard fans will remember it was always a bit of a pain to get, oh, skeleton hand, ghosty hand there. It was always a bit of a pain to get all four of these menus fitting on your screen. I know it was for me, and this is where the VR really, you know, like, it's so useful having this. So, you know, all your skills here and your attributes here. So you've got your inventory, the list of spells and magical items you've got, and then the map. So yeah, you can move the map around just like you could before. I love this feature. So the modders who did this did such a good job with it. For now, I'm going to equip. Now, you've probably noticed that the item name doesn't come up when you hover over it, and it took me a while to realise this, but when you point your hand, my hand's a bit shaky, but I'll tell you what, I'll unequip this, a bit easier. So yes, you have to hold your right hand out of it. Hopefully your hands aren't as shaky as mine are. But you can equip it all, and you can see all the items with the right hand if you hold it out a little bit. And that's it. So let's continue.
Hello. I don't know if I can help you,
ring.
but I'll try.
There we go. And we want to get that sweet disposition up with Ariel. So now we can actually use the controls a bit better. So like I said, right hand, bottom buttons are equip weapon and equip magic. The top button in your right hand will open up the menu, and the top button in your left hand usually makes you rest. Now I'm using the Oculus Quest 2. Okay, so the binding was a little bit of a pain. So in your left hand, the top button of your thumb gives me what's called the meta menu. So I was worried when I saw this, you know, there's only like 3 or 4 buttons in each hand. How on earth are they going to fit all the controls onto this? But they've done such a good job here. So obviously we don't need the button for switching between first and third person, because third person in VR, you know, unless you're playing Astrobot, which is fantastic by the way, it's not going to work. So they sacked that off. Journal, and now I have the option to rest here, and then this kind of stuff here. What's quick? Ah, I see. Let's get this back up. So I'm just going to quick save it. Why not? And that's it. Those are the controls there. Now with your right hand, like I said, the squeeze button, if I have here and I click that, you can hear the sound of me swinging the dagger. That would actually attack someone, or you can actually use it, which I'm obviously going to do, because why the hell wouldn't you? In your right hand, the squeeze enters you into sneak mode, which I think is kind of cool. Like I said, I never really used sneak before. I always found it, you know, really difficult to use. But if you want it, it's there. And your left hand, it makes you jump if you pull the trigger. So those are the controls, and I really like it. And that's basically it. That's my introduction to the game. Okay, so I hope you liked it. I think they did a fantastic job. In my next video, I'm going to test out the combat a little bit, so I am going to go into here and buy some spells and weapons. So, thank you. Wait, hold on, you over there. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again in the next video.